Okay, make sure we stay on side.
So the doubleheader is underway. And it's a great looking kickoff as well. That took a night's bounce. It could easily have gone dead. And it's brought back by Rima Butler. And good go forward to get it all the way out to the 20 room.
Well, I'm pretty sure you heard how impressed I was with that first carry there by Rima Butler. Followed up incredibly well there by Kayla Romanak. And we saw a really good turnout from the Knights last week at home. And they've got off to a cracking start today, Speedy.
Already up over their own 40-metre line here. The defending champs, and now they get the penalty blown by Casey Badger, who was in the bunker yesterday and in the middle today.
Well, you heard it very clearly there by Casey Badger that there was a penalty involved and they go for the tap, but I think this is a great opportunity to bring in an ex-Knight. Millie Boyle joining us in commentary the first time today. When you see this team going about their business, I'm pretty impressed with them, Mill.
Yeah, no doubt. They are such a class team and they've got a little bit of a piggyback up the field so far, but this is where they love to be. They love being in that good ball as they take off here.
And Johnston right through was looking for support. They would have scored the opening try. It's still on out wide. Chance in the corner, and in her second game in the NRLW, Sheridan Gallagher is a try scorer. What a dream start for the Knights.
Well, dream start was absolutely correct there, and the Harvey Norman replay is going to give us a really good last shot of just that last play. But the previous, it was the lead up for me with Caitlin Johnston with that massive run, and it was a wonderful finish there by the winger. But Millie, we were talking about this off air beforehand. You asked me if I really like Caitlin Johnston at second row. I love her there for her leg speed and the punch she has. She's also a wonderful middle, but she'd be pretty impressed with that turnout.
Oh, without a doubt. She loves that. Loves playing on the edge, loves playing bigger minutes. And when you've got Rima Butler steaming down the field, I think she's already up to, 40 run metres or something. It really puts them in that go-forward position. And then, yeah, Gallagher with that try. It's too easy almost.
Fifth game of rugby league. That's the sum total for the young Matildas captain from a year ago at a World Cup on the soccer stage. Now scoring a try. She was impressive on debut.
Absolutely, and I hear she's actually one of the fittest and fastest at the club, so it's good that they're getting those players in, setting the standards and making everyone better around them as well.
Tough conversion attempt coming up for Jessie Southwell, Commonwealth Games gold medalist in rugby sevens, and then an NRLW premiership winner with the Newcastle Knights. And the conversion attempt, trying to bend its way back. That is wizardry, but it's under the crossbar.
Still got 10 seconds. Stay on side. Stay on.
So 4-0 up after just 3 minutes of footy. The Newcastle Knights, the sun an issue there, and didn't Moran improvise brilliantly to trap that and not gift it back to the Cowboys.
No, and it's a smart kick from the Cowboys. It's twice that they've found the grass there. But Rima Butler with another massive run through the middle. She is dominating the start of this game.
If you can't beat them, join them for Rima Butler, who played for Parramatta in last year's grand final against the Knights and switched to Newcastle. Up over halfway they go again.
Hold. Square.
Romanak rewarded with a start today for the Newcastle Knights. Putting a hand up once more. Extraordinary work rate early on from Butler.
Last tackle off the ball. Go Mackenzie, not square.
Now Moran through the hands for Clydesdale.
Still last.
Can they keep it alive? Knocked down by the Cowboys. Nice work by the winger, making her starting debut.
Hold, square, hold.
Naikore, who comes up with a footy.
Was shut down well in the end there by the Cowboys, but I think what's most worrying for me and what Ben Jeffries will be really looking at is just the ease the metres of the Knights middles are making. So they really need to make sure that they slow that ruck down, control it, and try and just earn themselves a little bit of time and space to get some line speed, the Cowboys.
Olivia! Yeah, you need another step, mate.
Left-hand side they go for Shelley Long.
Hold. Go, 4, that's better.
And Rafstrand Smith, the starter in the middle for the Cowboys, takes them into Newcastle territory. Now the kick to come from Dibb. Knights have already had some issues with the sun. You can see Upton trying to shield her eyes and did so expertly and almost busted them on the kick return. What a fabulous player she is.
Yes, look, the sun would never bother Tamika Upton. She's one of the best in the game, and yeah, I can't see her missing any kicks, that's for sure.
Earns a team a penalty here too, Speedy. Just the way she claps on that pace as she makes contact. Yeah, the Cowboys were slow to move. It was a very short kick there.
Yeah, they didn't bother with a touch finder last time. Gained just minimal metres here.
10 metres, Crystal.
Southwell moving it on. And up over halfway again. Newcastle.
Go 2. 10 metres, Tiana.
Didn't win a game in their first season. That was played at the beginning of last year. But boy, have they turned things around since then. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games. The only loss was by 2 points against the Roosters. And here they come again down the short side.
Behind the line, front foot, hold. Go 4.
Upton plays it. Back to centre field they go. Carpani moved into the starting lineup.
On the mark, Simone.
Predabon dropped back to the bench with that finger injury issue. Now Southwell through the hands again. The Knights for Gallagher once more. And she'll have to hand it over this time in that corner.
Don't mind that finish there. You know, finish in the corner, so right in that cage. That's where you want now. This gives the opportunity for the Knights to just tighten their defensive line up, get some good line speed and maintain the pressure that they've been putting on the Cowboys since the kickoff.
Gives them a little bit of time too to reset, to get back to their defensive line and just be able to acknowledge where they are. They're not in a bad spot to defend.
Front foot with me. Go 2, that's better.
Naikore was player of the match in the Super W final. Transition to Rugby League.
Go 3, all the way, Rima.
Been eye-catching already. Start of her career in this competition.
Simone, move! All the way.
Playing on the right wing today.
Go
Still no Stevens Daly, ruled out with that knee injury for the 2nd week in a row. Was named on Tuesday, but didn't pass her fitness test.
Front foot, hold.
Nor did Tallulah Tillett. They can't wait to get her back in as a playmaker because the kicking responsibilities are all Kira Dibbs right now. And Upton again. Fabulous take from the fullback again.
Oh, she's a freak, and I mean that in the best possible way. She just took that ball effortlessly. It didn't even look like she was stressed about where it was. Look at the offload through the middle here. The Knights are just running at will.
Try to move, Mackenzie. Square.
Abigail Roach, one of the try scorers last week. 6 individual try scorers for Newcastle. They've got 7 different try scorers now to start the season. After Gallagher was first on the board today. Clydesdale plays it. Moran, not the best service, but it bounced up kindly for Romanak. Still 2 more plays here.
Go 4.
Higgins is the dummy half. Southwell is going to kick early this time, and there's space in behind. It's a really good option, and the bounce worked out beautifully for the Newcastle Knights. And what a moment this is. Been around a long time, but Shanice Parker finally has an NRLW try.
Well, you spoke about they still had 2 tackles up their sleeves, the Knights, and then Jessie Southwell just spied that the fullback was caught under the post. The Harvey Norman replay is going to show just how well weighted this kick was. Look at her outside chases, putting on plenty of pace, plenty of pressure on the fullback there, Fran Goldthorpe. And Shanice Parker, she is such a strong ball runner, but her timing is absolutely magnificent. When she came on the scene, she was a winger. She's moved into the centres. She had a bit of time in rugby as well. It's great to see her back in the game. And Millie, this Knights outfit, they are just running riot today.
They absolutely are. And Shanice Parker, such a great player to play alongside. She's quite underrated in that centre position. But if we look closely, it was actually Caitlin Johnson there who was also very close to the kick. I'm sure she would have loved a 4-pointer of her own, but the afternoon is young, and we see here Jessie Southwell aiming up for a kick in front.
Chance to put it onto the train tracks as well here at Belmore. Southwell moves in. and saved by the netting. But it's 8-0 to Newcastle, or 10-0 to Newcastle. So the Knights beating the clock right now, 10-0 up after 9.5 minutes. And watching it from sideline level for us, Marley Silver, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and yes, I feel very privileged to be on this sunny sideline today. We're experiencing a lovely 22.5 degrees. There's only a slight breeze of about 17 kilometres an hour blowing in a northwesterly direction. And I have to say, with these blue skies and beautiful sun out, there are plenty of people piling in to Belmore Sports Ground for a great day, a double header of NRLW.
Yeah, they're playing into that breeze, Newcastle, which makes this start even more impressive. Clydesdale, one of the stars of the show, got through the initial tackle. It was Blackwell, who's playing in the halves. Spent most of her rugby league career playing as a fullback and playing out of position right now, covering for Tillett. Here's Blackwell. Here's Johnston again. Had that impressive line break in the opening minute. Short side they go. Southwell. Jesse Southwell trying to find a little hole. Nice work by Manzelman and Dibb against their former club. Upton at speed. Great contact from the Cowboys. What do they do on the last this time? Southwell goes through the hands for now to Moran to drop it over the top of the winger who came in a little. And chance for Jazzy Strange. The wrestle is on. Well played, Naikore. It's her footy, all right.
Oh, she did well, didn't she? That was another well-placed kick. And I thought Jazzy Strange, she got her hands on it early, but Naikore just showed great strength to rip it off her. Yet again, though, the Knights finish in a very strong position and defensively have the opportunity to just really pile this pressure on the Cowboys.
Let's get down to Marley again.
I've also just been keeping an eye on, originally we did see Hannah Southwell listed in the extended bench for this night side, obviously coming back from that ACL injury, but she was named at 18 and she's in her training kit, so we're not going to see her at all today, and still not a lot of confirmation of whether she'll be back next week, but the Knights camp are hopeful to see her out there very soon.
Yeah, that is breaking news. The coach. Oh, now what's the touch he say?
That is a great kick.
It's confirmed as a 40-30.
Kira Dibb, that was a wonderful kick. She struck that absolutely beautifully. The angle on it was fantastic. We've got to see this one back in replay. Look how far back. She's behind the 30. It's a northwesterly wind as well. So the angle of the kick is what makes that. Millie, as a forward, you appreciate that from your halves, don't you?
Absolutely. Love a 40-30 kick for the girls. It really gives that relief to the defending side.
Touchy might have added on a bit of GST, but it was definitely inside the 30 by maybe a centimetre, not a metre. But not much of a difference, of course. They deserve the footy. Here is Dibb. And back on the angle. Almost going through Mackenzie Wheel. Another former Knight out there. Oh, that's risky play, and it backfires on the Cowboys. Dibb trying to make something happen behind her back. And the knock-on eventually against Faifua, who's playing on the left wing.
That is a shame because they were shaping for some really great movement there. But Shanice Parker, the try scorer from earlier in the game, great outside-in pressure there on Kira Dibb. She recognises the threat that she poses when she gets the ball there. So they had to shut it down, and they did so really well, the Knights. But the very first time that the Cowboys got into this Westpac red zone, they looked dangerous.
this week is Harvey Norman Women in League round in NRL and NRLW. Let's celebrate how far we've come whilst recognising that we're far from done when it comes to gender equality in rugby league. Head to nrl.com/women in league to find out how to play your part. Johnston winding up again. How tough is she to tackle, Millie?
One of the hardest players to tackle in our competition. She's got great leg speed. She's got a bigger frame up top, so she really pushes off those defenders really well and finds her front nearly every time.
Little mistake spotted in the play the ball.
It was Abigail Roach, she was another one who had a good game for the Knights last week, Speedy, and just comes up with an error in the play the ball there. Good position here for the Cowboys. I mean, we've only seen them in the red zone once, Millie, but when they got there, they were able to punch some little half holes or bend the line of the Knights when they got down there.
Yeah, definitely stress the Knights' defence, and they haven't been down there. Often when you haven't been down there for 10, 15 minutes, you almost forget what it's like to defend on your own line. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what footy they come up with in their good ball zone here.
It is really good ball. There's the English player, Goldthorpe, on the opening play, and inside the 30 they go here. 15 minutes in, looking to eat into that 10-0 deficit right now. And Talisha Harden, all of her experience coming off the bench here. Set up for a play out on that left-hand side. There's some nice depth out there. And it's Pilata, who's got the 2 on her back, but able to play in the forwards, and that's where she started today as a front rower. Dip, showing it to 1 and changing the angle. Newcastle's defence did not clock off on the inside. You've got to be there to contain Shania Power back on that trademark angle. Now Wheel, who came close on the previous set. And centimetres away here. Clydesdale holding her up and creating the handover.
Wasn't the best fifth tackle option there with a forward taking it into the line. I know that it's a hard thing to get around when there looks like there's space, but that really needs to go to a playmaker there on the fifth tackle.
Big contact here. Jazzy Strange coming into the middle and copping some treatment from Pilata and Wheel.
Yeah, this is better from the Cowboys. This is exactly what they needed to do. To start off the game, the Knights were just running riot through that middle third. They need to really shore that up. They need that good contact. They need to control that ruck speed to try and wrestle back some field position.
Just quickly, have we ever seen a player start on the wing and then the next week play at prop?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
I definitely won't be doing it. I won't be playing on the wing. I'll stick to the middle.
Took me 10 years to move into the middle.
Oh, Clydesdale pushing the pass over the top and knocked on by Roach before it got to Strange. A little clunky on the last couple of sets, Newcastle, after that whirlwind opening.
But again, that comes down to the pressure that the Cowboys are starting to put in that ruck. Their line speed is increasing. They're just controlling the speed of the play the ball, and that means that their defensive line's got more time to actually get up in the face of the Knights.
Goldthorpe. Sensational player out of Leeds in England. Just 20 years of age. Great recruitment from the Cowboys to get her involved in the NRLW. And well done, Fran, coming down under to chase her dream. There's Faifua, who was a Gold Coast Titan last season. Played 7 games for Gold Coast overall before making the switch up north. Predabon looking to make an immediate impact, trying to reef it away from Sarah Karoy. Did well to hold on. Had the tug-of-war celebration yesterday and the wrestle in that one. And now Manzelmann, who scored that fabulous first try for the Cowboys last week, keeps it alive somehow. And now a big chance, setting sail for the corner. What a finisher she is. Jazzy Peters for the Cowboys.
That was fantastic. What great work there. And it's all come from hard running through the middle, defensively starting to control that ruck. But the second phase play with the offloads, Talisha Harden showed incredible nows to get herself in this position. The Harvey Norman replay shows it. She takes in the ditch, which is that space behind the play the ball. Then Manzelmann gets to work, does what she does best, scoots out. She also gets her hands free. But the fact that the outside backs here, Millie, for the Cowboys, managed to stay in run shape, that's what contributed to that try.
Yes, they were all an option the whole time, and it was just a simple face ball from Jatea there to her centre in Jazz Peters. But it was through the middle that we saw all of the hard work being done, and it was the laziness in the middle around the ruck where Emma Manselman really took control there and started running behind the ruck, gave a little offload, and there was numbers outside.
So 5th try in the career of Jasmine Peters, another former Titan. Worked hard on her defensive game in pre-season and now flourishing in attack. Didn't need her winger in the end as Dib tries to drive it, but it's 10-4, Big Buddy.
Going in front.
So North Queensland back in the game here after the try from Jasmine Peters. And they did that last week as well. They had a great chance to score that try, remember, against the Titans when Power was taken down one-on-one by Vania Politi, and they nearly bust them from the kickoff here.
I like that play, catching it on the sideline, 2 pass back to the inside, and what they did then, they identified the Knights' middle D hadn't linked up with their edge D, and that's the space. Really good play by the Cowboys, but Knights come back with a reply, good contact.
Yeah, Telstra has some of the best defence in the business too, tackling millions of cyber threats every day. So the Cowboys with some momentum now and the breeze at their backs. Harden makes such a difference off the bench with her composure. There were no markers there either. Casey Badger keeping Newcastle honest here. On the last. Dib on kicking duty once more. Plenty of hang time. Tough for Upton. And this time it bounces. And how fortunate is that for Newcastle? Oh, Strange took a risk there and nearly bobbled into the opposition. In fact, the touch judge says that. So it's Cowboys ball again.
He was right on the spot there straight away. He told Casey Badger what he saw, and that's the first time we've seen that sun really get in the eyes of Tamika Upton. She let it bounce, and Gus's favourite saying just rings in my ears every time I see that. And this one, it's paid off for the Cowboys. Again, off the boot of Kira Dib. Earlier we saw a 30-30 from her, Millie. This one in particular, this is where the threat is coming with boot to ball for the Cowboys.
Yes, and it really, they need to take advantage of having this sun in the Knights' eyes for the rest of this half. It's very uncharacteristic, from Tamika there, but yeah, the Cowboys did very well.
Might have been worth a captain's challenge as well from Newcastle. I'm not sure that was a knock-on, but doesn't matter now as they go short side. And Power through the hands, and they have 2 tries. Back-to-back go the North Queensland Cowboys, although there's no great celebration from Jatea Faifua. Has she scored this one, or has she copped a high shot?
I think she's copped a knock on the way through, because as she went to ground, she sort of stayed down on her haunches there. So maybe the Harvey Norman replay might give us a better view of what actually happened, but it was just a nice little short side play there. They had the numbers, the Cowboys, and just a nice little face ball and then hands to the edge. This will be a great angle here. Takes the line on, squares up on them. Lovely hands through there. I think she just got landed on. Try confirmed. Great stuff here by the Cowboys, Millie.
So good to see from the Cowboys. We've seen all of the footy in this back half of this half played up their end, and they're really loving it. You can tell we've got some ex-Newcastle Knights players playing at the Cowboys, and they'd love to be getting a couple of tries in, that's for sure.
You've seen a lot of try celebrations across the first 2 rounds, but not much doing there for Jatea.
I think she was more worried about her leg. I'd like to get the count though. Maybe Mido might be able to help us out with the count for the try July. He's on it. He's nodding. Yes.
A lot of money raised for a fabulous cause. Let's see what Dib can do with this tough conversion attempt. Has taken it back 22 metres to try and level the scores. Looks great off the boots. And it is 10-all. Newcastle early. They had their 10 points inside the first 10 minutes, but having the Cowboys hit back strongly, they're a tough team under Ben Jeffries, well drilled, and they've levelled things with their own 10-minute burst here, Millie.
Yes, they have, and 23 minutes into this first half, it's quite warm out there, and the middles are starting to really feel that, but this is where momentum really kicks in, and it has all been Cowboys' way.
Oh, what a tackle, creating
Until
the error. Harden not happy with the decision, but Karpani has made a difference here.
She certainly has. It was a nice little offload through the middle, but it was just the timing. Karpani saw it coming and just lined her up. So they're having a captain challenge. Let's listen to Casey.
There's a captain's challenge from the Cowboys. They're disputing the decision of a knock-on. The ruling is actually lost it into the leg of Simone, the Knights defender.
All right, I don't know if we could hear that, but she's saying that they're claiming it was not lost into the leg, as Casey mentioned. She's got a hold of it. Ooh.
She is the co-captain, of course, so trusting her instinct here.
It'll just be as she catches it, whether she bobbles it into the defender.
The Cowboys player squeezes possession against her own body and maintains possession. The challenge is successful.
1-0 for the front rowers.
Casey Badger just smiling back towards Talisha.
They were lucky to get away with that one, but they didn't really need to push that past. Talisha was in just as much as trouble as the ball carrier.
Do you discuss how the captain's challenge will be worked in pre-season, Millie, and who can be trusted and who can't?
Look, you've got one shot, and if you mess it up, you don't get another one.
Someone else can play it. You go out the back.
So Harden requiring treatment after that massive hit from Karpani, but she'll play on in a moment. Ralph Smith, fabulous offload, but there wasn't much on offer after that. There is now, though. Slow play the ball.
That helps, doesn't it? Some ill discipline from the Knights.
Not over the mark.
And Kira Dibb will definitely go for touch with this one. With the northwesterly wind behind her, she'll find it easily, the sideline.
As we see, Talisha Harden just leaving the field, looks like a HIA.
So a free interchange allowing April Natapuna to come on, and they won't lose anything there. She was brilliant last week. Got the 21 on her back this time around.
Taylor all the way.
I'd like to see her and Rima Butler go at it when she comes back on the field.
Out now, Taylor! All the way, Jessie, hold! Go, two.
Manzelman goes to Natapuna.
Yasmin, no more!
Another tough
in the middle, Lydia.
player to tackle. Dibb. Can the Cowboys take the lead? Oh, knock on. Shania Power couldn't hold on. If she did, it was looking dangerous.
And they compound that error by giving away a penalty. It was on down that left edge. There was some space opening up, as we see here on the replay. Kira shows it back on the inside. The pass looks like it just bounced off the outside shoulder there.
Front foot on the 20. Yep.
She would have been hard to stop that close to the line.
Tiana, no
Former
more!
Titan and Rooster, Shania Power.
10 metres, Tiana.
Nita Maynard gave away the penalty that led to that good ball for the Cowboys. She's on there playing the dummy half roll, now off the bench. Ball comes loose, and it's another penalty.
She's playing game 20 today as well, Speedy.
Last night, I think, of the swimming world champs from Fukuoka, Japan, and it's been gold, 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 as Norman May used to say, for the Aussies in the pool. Cam McAvoy, magnificent last night. Molly has been outstanding. Don't miss any of the action tonight. Final night in the pool, seeing all of those Olympic champions of next year, potentially. All starts 9 p.m. Higgins. Upton chimes in. Oh, it's opened up here for Clydesdale. Back to Upton. And fullback on fullback. Upton skips through that. Dragged down just in time. The Cowboys got to it. It's on now for Maynard. Not the best service. Back to Clydesdale, who made that line break. And now the ball loose. Another penalty.
That lead-up play was beautiful from the Knights. A lovely little slip pass to Clydesdale, who did really well to actually pull her fullback onto the ball there. Great scramble by the Cowboys so close to the line. But this is ominous, though, when you see the Knights spread out to the right like this.
Marpani steadies things right in front of that left-hand upright. Southwell cooking up something on the right-hand side. Little clunky there, and Higgins paid the price, running into the shoulder of Natapuna. Now Southwell, and knocked on by the back rower for the Knights this time. Almost a mirror image of what happened at the other end.
Well, again, great line speed from the Cowboys to get up and shut that down. And they had to, because they gave away 3 penalties back to back. And you know what we said at the start of the game, Millie, where the Knights were running right through the middle and just gaining metres everywhere. The Cowboys are doing the same in return.
They are. It's been quite an even contest here, and we see that 10-all coming into half-time, and looking forward to see how the second half really unfolds, who will take this game into their hands. I think Jessie Southwell's been a little bit quiet today. I'm sure we'll see more of her a little bit later, but I'm interested to see the bench players come on to and make an impact for the Knights as we see them make a hit up here.
Oh, that tackle slipped a little high, but given the all clear on Ralph Strand-Smith. Now Dib. Pressure on that kick, but she's found grass again. Upton set up nicely for the fullback as we go down to Marley again.
We just had confirmation that Talisha Harden came from the field for a Category 2 head injury assessment, so she'll have 15 minutes to pass and prove that she can rejoin this game.
Kira, give space. Emma all the way.
And they will want her back. Looked relatively harmless. Strange has come a long way from the left wing to get involved there on play 2.
Go 3, come 10 there.
Flat service for Southwell, cut out ball to Moran, and there's space on the outside here. If Clydesdale goes to her outside player, didn't use Roach. Now Moran. Higgins, ball playing now with Maynard on the ground.
Last tackle, release there, Bree. Hold, she moves forward there.
And Southwell gets a nice spiral down towards Goldthorpe. Safe underneath it, running behind a teammate, which is always risky. But, no problems there. The try scorer, Dazzy Peters. Such a good mover, another with a sprinting background.
Nina, got to lock in. Olivia, I'm out.
An absorbing opening half hour it has been to kick off our doubleheader at Belmore. Sharks against Tigers next as the ball comes loose.
Keep going, 0 coming.
Referee had a good view, said it was a knock-on straight away, and Higgins up towards halfway she goes.
All the way. April, get all the way. Go, 0.
How have you found this 5-minute period before half-time, Millie, if you've been on the ground early in the season?
Yeah, look, it's definitely challenging. Just getting a few games up your belt, especially on a warm day, in the middle of the day, through the middle of the field. That's where we'll find a lot of joy there as Caitlin Johnson wrangles off a few and offloads.
And no markers. Chance to exploit that. Prevon! Oh! Was looking around and got absolutely nailed. Sarah Karoy. What a shoulder she possesses. Upton fires it out to Strange, who was worried about the sideline, and Naikore. Cowboys' defence has been brilliant since that opening blitz that they got.
Show me again.
Stand by, Roo. We'll check it out in a moment as Southwell kicks it far too big, gives up a 7-tackle set.
Go!
Didn't work in the Westpac red zone that time for the Knights.
No, just pulled the trigger a little strangely on that one, Jess. No angles, straight down the line. But the Cowboys, and I think this period just before half-time, these conditions, it's quite warm out there. This is where they should really start to warm into their task because they've come from a very warm weather. So they should have some pretty good conditioning up their sleeves.
Holding the ball in one hand for a moment. Here you go, Roo. Ask and ye shall receive.
Tackle 2. Cowboys
that
number
is
4. Shelley.
Beautiful timing.
Beautiful
timing by Cotterley.
You can get the replacement on now, Braids.
Looks like we've got a stoppage in the middle.
Shelley Long.
Being called from the field, another HIA you'd suggest.
Marley's got her work cut out for her this afternoon already.
Yeah, just wait for her to get set. Yep. Just let her get set.
Sarika
So that'll
Mooka
yeah.
coming onto the
Time on,
field
go,
for
two.
her in replacement for the last 5 minutes of this half.
Straight into the action and driven back at the end of it all. Strong work by the two dummy halves. In combination, Higgins and Maynard.
Move, Hayden!
Now to Puna, drifting crossfield.
Wait! Go, 4.
Dib will kick with one more play available if she wanted it. Strange, wasn't sure where the footy was and hits the corner post, and that leads to a 20-metre tap, 7 tackle set.
I just got word from our stats guru there have been 337 tries in July, 268 in the NRL and 69 in the NRLW. So plenty of money being raised for that wonderful try July.
Grab it, Tamika. Oh, go, 0. You grabbed her, Tamika.
We've seen some good celebrations too, Millie.
We've seen some great celebrations. They have calmed down a little bit this week.
I'll take the marker out. With me.
Hasn't Jasmine Strange been busy for a winger? She's on the other end of the field. She's running away back out now, but I'd love to see her stats for this opening half.
And Gallagher got hit in the noggin, I think, and that's why the ball came loose. I think she was stunned by that contact, but it was all above board. Knock on is the call, and there's 2.5 minutes to go before half time. Door opens here for the visitors. The Cowboys have come a long way, of course, on neutral ground here at Belmore. The shorter trip for the Knights.
And Millie, you were down on the field pre-game.
Head in, Emma.
Is it quite firm underfoot? Because every time the ball bounces, it's sitting up really well. So as soon as it hits, it just bounces and sits up in the air.
Yes, it is quite firm and also very warm. That's I think more to the point. It's quite warm, and when I wasn't even running around. So that's really, I think they'd be looking at the clock waiting to get into half time. But tell you what, going up a try into half time, it definitely does wonders for that team.
You don't expect this kind of weather in late July in footy season. Strand Smith nearly slipped away. Johnston just held on down low. Southwell careful not to give away a penalty for a late flop.
Not on top of her. All the way, Taylor.
Manselman from dummy half, dangerous customer. When she spots that try line, she can make it happen, but Upton wasn't having it.
Marcus, neither Marcus square. And you've impacted them.
Earns her team a penalty as well. She's so well balanced when she comes out of that ruck, and her speed is fantastic. They'll take the 2 points here. Very smart. There's only just over a minute left in this game. They'll chew up a bit of time with this penalty goal as well. But Emma Manselman, great ruck recognition.
And experience racing against Ariane Titmus and co. She could have been there at the World Champs in Fukuoka if she went a different path.
That's it, but I'm glad she stuck to footy, and she obviously knows this Knights outfit so well. She knows when to run, she knows when to take her opportunity, and she saw it just there. And even if she's going to be that sacrificial lamb and get the penalty, she does it for her team, and it's good to see her fitting in right at home at the Cowboys.
And Upton was aware of the threat as well. Like, she was the only one who was going to stop her there.
Yes, and 2 points is better than 4 or 6 points, so you have to do what you have to do sometimes.
So just about running out of time here at the end of the first half. It was Newcastle 10-0 at one stage, but now the Cowboys lead at 12-10. The siren is about to sound here. And Casey Badger will just send the players to the sheds. No time for the kickoff. Well, what a fascinating opening 35 minutes that was. 10-0 inside 10 minutes for the defending champs, but these Cowboys mean business in their inaugural season, and they lead it 12-10 after 35 minutes. Thank you, Emma. And there is work to do for Newcastle right now, trailing by 2 points. But they have the breeze at their backs, and the Cowboys looking into the sun here as it's brought back by Mooka, and Predabon said, "You ain't going nowhere."
Immediately by Casey Badger as well, indicated below the shoulder. Very, very strong start by Predabon, who came off the bench today.
Yeah, had that horrible finger injury last week when we saw how graphic it was when she was taken off, so maybe that's part of the reasoning. Power slips through one tackle. She's a tackle buster.
Ooh, I don't think it was below the shoulder.
Oh, that one looked high by Clydesdale too. So another tricky customer to contend with is Sarika Mooka. There's Blackwell with the 6 on her back. Now Dib. Her kicking game a feature in that first 35. Off the outside of the boot here and through the hands of Naikore. And Newcastle will have a decent starting position here.
A couple of big shots to start off this half, and Mooka, you definitely have to get up quick on her, don't you, Millie? Because she's such a strong runner when she gets a real head of steam up behind her.
Yeah, she is, and it's that late footwork as well in the line that really gets you, and it's just about having that inside and outside support as well.
Cairns-born North Queenslander Sarika Mooka will be very popular when they start their campaign at home next week against the Broncos. What a match to look forward to there. Make sure you get your tickets early for that one. Oh, and there's the misunderstanding and clunkiness that's crept in for the Newcastle Knights. What was going on there?
Well, that bit of fatigue that we saw prior to half-time still looks to be hanging around a little bit. Also, the Cowboys have started this half with significant physicality. So, and Mooka again on the ad line. What a run!
And square. Not deep. Go to.
Downer Davidson out there for the Knights. And the number 15 jumper as they slip off a few more tackles, Newcastle. Worrying signs for the Premiership coach, Ron Griffiths, right now. As the Cowboys through Dib. Right into that Westpac red zone right now. Pretty level in play the balls. And here's another one for Natsapuna! Reaching out and great work down low, Johnston. Rolled onto her back, couldn't fling it over the try line. Slow service for Dib under immense pressure. Great line speed from Newcastle, creating the error with Southwell.
Yeah, they needed to have a bit of a foil there for Kira Dib. Everyone knew the ball was going to go to her, and they just needed one of the forwards to maybe just put themselves hands up. Well, there's a strip here in the play.
Double. Okay. Strip 1-on-1, but Talisha, you've knocked it on, and then double knock on from Newcastle. It'll be a Newcastle feed.
There you go, deemed a 1-on-1 strip, but then after that,
Scrum in the middle.
knocked on.
Clock is on.
Knights ball, midfield scrum. You know, that red zone, the Westpac red zone that we spoke about, only sort of 9 tackles each in that red zone. But I think the first 10, 12 minutes, it was all the Knights in the red zone, and then towards that middle part of the first half, it was all the Cowboys in the red zone. So both teams coming up with good points once they get into that good ball area.
All right, clock off, feed it.
How do you find that communication of your teammate dropping off before you can go for the strip? And Harden seemed to have a good understanding there, Millie.
Yeah, it is hard. You often forget, and you play in different teams, and you're chopping and changing. The word changes as well. I went to do it yesterday, and I thought, God, what's our strip call? And I went to strip, but it was too late. So you see some heavy contact in the middle there. Taylor Predabon, they are coming for her, aren't they?
Mooka wanted a little back.
Second marker, Sarika.
Over halfway they go. Higgins playing as a middle right now with Maynard on the ground.
Release, Sarika on the way.
I love seeing Olivia Higgins transfer from that hooker role into the middle. She's got such a great defensive tackle, and she's got great ball playing ability too, and will take the space when she sees it.
It's a coach's dream to have someone so versatile in those positions. Tough one for the fullback here, but well played, Fran Goldthorpe. The chase good from Gallagher as well.
The timing was good from Gallagher too. She waited until Goldthorpe caught it and then just dragged her back into the cage there. This is a good opportunity here for the Knights to wrestle back some control.
Have to get back with the referee, Casey Badger. That's 3 tackles made inside the 20. Naikore straining for more metres, but Clydesdale finished her off.
Go 3, yeah.
Peters. Such an easy, smooth mover. Takes them out near the 30-metre line. Pressure is going to be on the kicker, you'd imagine. Harden tries to give Dib some room. Dib. On her wrong side a little, so had to take some off on that angle. As a result, Gallagher has brought it back outside her own 40.
Well, good inside pressure from marker there. I think it was Clydesdale that came out and got past the lead runner for the Cowboys and put some pressure. That's why Dib had to actually take a bit of heat off that kick.
Dib did well to kick to her winger instead of Tamika Upton. She always finds gaps in the line, but played it safe, and someone a little less experienced to return the ball.
Oh, Strange got rid of the initial tackler. Some effort to sit Mooker down. By the winger, Josie Strange, the former Rooster. And here's Predabon rumbling inside the 20. 6 minutes into the second half. The Knights playing catch-up. Southwell for Upton. Oh, quick hands, and Gallagher has a double. No, she doesn't.
Oh, there's a late shot here on Southwell, who is down in back play.
She's still down with the train, I'll let you know.
The forward pass was called by the touch judge there, Speedy, but Casey Badger was straight onto it. We'll watch this on the replay.
Shoulder at the moment. Yeah, hold on, she's been looked. Like it's a penalty. You guys. Yeah, we're looking. That was a forward pass.
It's being reviewed by the bunker, Millie, to see whether there's any other action than just the penalty.
21 April.
Here we go.
More shoulder.
Okay,
Just
Kira, April.
Didn't look like she made
Yeah, well,
much
she
of an
needs
attempt
to.
to
She
tackle
needs to
there.
come back here. April.
You're thinking bin,
April.
Millie?
Yeah, it's okay. She needs to come here.
Potentially.
That sub's going to need to go.
It wasn't too late,
Who came on for April?
but it wasn't a good
yeah,
tackle.
she's going to need to go off. April,
Oh, they've tried to sub her early.
Get away from the scene of the crime. So China Palata has to leave the field, who had come on.
Forceful shoulder contact to the head. It's on report and in the bin.
There you go. Forceful shoulder contact to the head. 10 in the bin.
We'll just wait for her
Now
to
the
go off,
Cowboys,
and I'll
we'll see
call
what their
time
scramble defence is made of on the try line there.
Is Jessie all right? Does she have to go for a HIA?
Well,
from
this
that?
will be
Okay, on the tap,
this
not
will
the
be
whistle.
assessed by the independent doctor. She's been cleared by the trainer.
So great opportunity here for Newcastle.
Emma, you
10
get
minutes
Sarika
against
square.
12
Oh,
players.
Go, one.
And they're coming right for Upton. Johnston. Great contact, Kira Dib. Had to be. With Johnston so close to the line. Upton from dummy half. And Davidson has a go.
There is so much space out to their left. It's got to go there.
Maynard sends it that way on the bounce. Upton so clean on the bouncing ball. Moran, and how's that pass? It's forward as well. It's no try on the left-hand side this time.
Probably didn't need to be a cutout pass there. They had numbers. Just a simple through their hands would have done it just fine.
Yeah, on the replay, you're going to see it here. Moran spies it. I think even if they just hit short first and then just play the hands off the back of that, they had the numbers overlap. Just the rushing defence of the Cowboys lulled them into that false sense of security. We're saying, come on, throw the pass and we'll just scramble out and try and shut it down.
Threw a beautiful Harbour Bridge pass last week. Caitlin Moran, but couldn't pull it off this time. And look at those errors into double figures for the defending champs. That won't be pleasing the coach, Millie.
No, it won't be. He's all about keeping it nice and simple and not making errors if you don't have to, and Ronnie won't be happy with that.
Seems like a pretty cool customer when he does his press commitments, Ron Griffiths. What's he like in the team meetings?
Very cool, calm and collected, and also one of the biggest gentlemen I've ever met. He's always very shaking people's hands wherever he goes. He's so kind, and he's a family man at heart.
Front foot here. Go, three.
Quick hands here. Power.
Looked like some late contact on Dib there.
We'll check that out. Oh, running out of room here. Somehow it stayed in. No, it didn't. Flag goes up really late. And I think it's all clear what happened earlier.
Well, you can see
Play the
Dib
ball in the middle.
gesticulating to the touch judge, just saying I was hit late with contact as well.
Play the ball here.
Do you think it plays much of a factor if they stay down or if they get straight up?
It gets looked at when they stay down. But, I mean, it should get looked at even if they maintain their feet as well.
Well, that must have been the foot of Shelley Long, a little carelessly, that was on the touchline, because it was okay until she picked up the footy.
Yes.
And don't forget to be at the SCG on Thursday, August 3, when the Roosters will host an NRL and NRLW doubleheader. The NRLW kicks off 5:40 p.m. between the Roosters and the Dragons, followed by the NRL when the Roosters take on Manly. Make sure you're there to witness the epic doubleheader. Secure your seats today at nrl.com/tickets, or you can catch it right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Maynard, the Romanak. Lining up on that left-hand side again here. Moran takes the line on this time. Cute little flick back to Southwell. And now Maynard. Mooka takes matters into her own hands and nails Nita.
Go, second marker.
Upton. And nice tackle down low. That's the handover.
Shania Power, Speedy. What about that tackle? They were under immense pressure through the middle. The Knights were flooding. They were moving. Had good run shape. And Shania Power came up with an absolute ripper of a tackle to shut that down.
The first touch for Tina'o, who was taken down in the number 17.
It was great scramble D there by the Cowboys. They looked very disjointed at times, and it looked to be the right option on the fifth tackle, but that space just instantly closed, and it was a textbook tackle right under the sticks.
Can the Cowboys stay in front during this 10-minute period in the bin? Look at this run! Makore eventually into touch as she tried to make something happen down the short side. But what an exciting player she's going to be in the rounds to come.
How about the moves on her? That footwork was magic along the sideline. Look at this. Big step off the right. She wrong foots a couple of very strong defenders. That right foot step is just magic, and she sits everyone back. That was a good fend. Jessie Southwell is a very strong defender, Millie. And for her to come through like that and just put a fend right on the chest and push her off, that's talent.
Very talented, and flirting with that touch line. I think she was about to right foot step in onto the bench, but it was great to see, and that's why she is playing on the right-hand side. We saw her on the left hand, but yeah, it's great to see talent coming through the NRLW, that's for sure.
She played on the left wing in that Super W final and scored a hat-trick. So capable on either side.
She must have both a step on both sides.
Here is Tina'o again.
Yeah, keep an eye on her as this game goes. She's a very good ball runner, excellent footwork.
See a lot of her family members in the stands as well with supporters' shirts for Vienna.
Oh, Clydesdale brilliant again. Gallagher back inboard, searching for a double. The Newcastle Knights number 2, and now they crack them finally.
Another great move out to the right, and we see another Try July celebration, the selfie down on the try line. Gallagher in for her second, and she had plenty of work to do when she got the ball, but the Harvey Norman replay will show us perfectly. That's from a left post shift, and when they jump in there, I love it when I see Southwell and Upton playing footy together, and they just connect really well. Keeping the ball in two hands makes it really difficult for the defence to decide whether to jam or not. And Gallagher, like I said, had plenty of work to do, Millie, but she's been very strong to start this season for the Knights.
She sure has been, and always an option. She's running hard lines. She had a few people to get around just there, but it's great to see that people are coming and they're enjoying rugby league. They want to be a part of it, and here on the Harvey Norman replay, we see Tamika Upton. She just makes it look very effortless, and then the little pop over the top there from Shanice Parker. They built a lot of pressure, and it finally paid off.
Yeah, captained the young Matildas, was playing on the wing for them as an attacking player. That's the under-20 team at the World Cup last year, nailing the selfie, Sheridan Gallagher, and she's going to remember this day. Second game, and she has 2 tries, but fell out of love with soccer. And tough to get into that senior Matildas team, of course. They've been around for so long, so many of those established names. And the conversion attempt waved away. The Knights now lead by 2.
Come on.
Conversion attempt successful. It's still on the Knights 14. 20 to go.
So set up here, isn't it? Newcastle taking the lead against the 12-player Cowboys right now. And a 2-point ball game. 70-minute contest in NRLW. So still 22 minutes to go here. And yes, under 3 minutes now for Nata Puna to see out her stint in the bin. Only copped 4 points so far during that 10-minute period.
How good is it how close these games are and how competitive these new teams into the NRLW have been? They're pushing the limits of these top teams, and it's great to see.
Johnston not happy with power. Tina'o. 3 or 4 tacklers required and still kept her feet throughout. Then the ball comes out and the referee got tipped up. That's a penalty. Stripped out of there.
Who's one? Yep. Okay. That's going to be your mark. Let me move back. Yep. All right. Go.
Too many people just grabbing around the shirt there. One needed to go low to get her on the ground.
Emma out! I don't think I'm going to do anything about that. Hold. Go. 1. Hold! Release her!
10 metres out.
Wait. Go. 2.
20 minutes to go. Romanak through the initial contact.
Clear now. Mackenzie square.
Chance to expose them in wide areas, of course, and they're going to that left-hand side again. Double pump Southwell. Moran was running out of room. Cowboys able to slide effectively.
Let her up.
And they'll be able to come back the other side through the hands from left to right now. Lovely pass. Southwell moved on. Oh, big hole opening up. Welcome back to the ball game. Reba Butler, outstanding in her first stick and ready to go for stick number 2.
Oh, Speedy. She only played 10 minutes in her first stint. She ran for 94 metres. She's been on for 60 seconds. She runs for another 18 metres. All right, I won't shortchange her. Let's make it 20. It's really 12. But you just knew, Millie, you just knew on the Harvey Norman replay, as soon as she got this ball that far out, it didn't matter who was in front of her. She was going to steamroll them and she was going to score 4 points.
Absolutely. We saw her warming up only seconds ago on the sideline, and she's come on, made it an immediate impact, and they were really caught down that right-hand side, and there was space right through the middle there for Rima Butler. Didn't matter if there was space, though, because she was going through, like you said, Rue. Love seeing front rowers get over for a try.
What about the comfort of passing left to right in that situation? Southwell threw a pivotal pass.
She did, and we saw Tamika Upton come to the right-hand side to put the defenders off, and they actually went short side on the left. But, yeah, I mean, she's a class player, Jessie Southwell. She's got such a great passing style, kicking style, and she's definitely one to watch, if not already.
And makes the margin 8.
Mostly, yes. Sorry about that.
So Rima Butler, a try scorer, second in her NRLW career for the former Eel. And here's the pass from Southwell. Cutting out one player to get to Romanak, that was key.
Yeah, well, it was also Romanak did very, very well to catch that pass under pressure and to give it off to Butler.
Johnston winding up. Oh, getting down so low, Shania Power, and emerges unscathed. But you had your heart in your mouth watching that one, Millie.
Yeah, I did. Look, Caitlin Johnson loves to take it on the full and run it off the back fence. She's forgotten that she's in the second row, but it's always good for a carry there.
What about the positioning of Power's head there? Does she need to improve that or look risky?
Well, yes, you do have to be careful where you place your head there, but also you can't go high on Caitlin Johnston. You have to go low, or you have to gang tackle her together and hit together. So Yeah, you just got to be very careful, but at the same time...
brave.
Yeah,
It's very brave.
But the Cowboys are back to their full complement, Speedy.
And they copped 2 tries, though, with Natapuna in the bench. So that'll get a mention from the in the bin, rather. That'll get a mention from the coach during the week. Just have to tidy up that area as Upton almost just tripped up. Key contribution there from Manzelmann. Very nearly into clear pastures. At what expense there, Upton? She's proppy after that, the fullback. Could be an ankle concern.
Trainer's making her way straight out to see her. Does look very, very uncomfortable.
Higgins back in the number 9 role for Southwell. Oh, there's a big space inside for Tinao. Can she get the ball down? Wrestle going on, and I think they've held her up.
They did. They held her up. Great scramble from the Cowboys, but again, the Knights' big players just punching through space at will. We're just going to check this one, Casey. But live, Millie, I thought she got rolled and held up. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a great run. I did think she just got held up over the line there. And all you need to do, even if you are in your goal line, you just need to stay underneath the ball.
It'll be last here.
The ball is still up at this stage.
Well done, Fran Goldthorpe. That's the voice of Liam Kennedy back in the bunker.
Hasn't Vienna made such a difference since coming on?
Just checking on all possible angles for the grounding.
I think the players are ready to move on.
I think she's up. Vienna thinks she's held up because she's ready to go and play the ball at the 10-metre line.
It's like a work experience day for Liam Kennedy. He's not in the bunker too often. Just learning the ropes in there at Redfern.
How about the 1-2 punch with Vienna?
Based on the on-field decision of held up, we will be supporting this. We have a decision.
So it'll be held up, it'll be last tackle. Just go back on the 10-metre line for us. All right, and go on the play the ball, not the whistle, okay?
They're sent up to go left here with a couple of decoy
Time on,
runners.
go. Last tackle.
Southwell, Upton, and the kick in behind. There was space, but it was trapped and scrapped, and they get 6 more.
Tamika Upton working on her kicking game. We don't usually see that. It's good to see.
And now her passing game. Now to Roach.
Oh, look at the spacing here from the Cowboys. They got to fix that up. Right under the post.
Oh, there's a bonus for them. Moran took her eyes off the footy, and the pass was just drifting on the breeze.
Well, that's a get-out-of-jail free card for the Cowboys because the defenders were all cramped around the play the ball at the tram lines there. The next closest one was near the far post. They got to clean that up as this game moves on.
Mackenzie Wheel in the lock position for the Cowboys has been busy this entire game, always around the ball, trying to clean things up. She's been one of Cowboys' best.
And she spoke during the week saying they needed to tidy up the middle and really work the ruck better than they did last week in that loss to the Titans. Natapuna is working overtime in the middle here. Keen to make up for that trip to the bin and gets the penalty. Dib will find touch. They've done it once before in this game. Came from 10 points down. Now they've got to do it from 8 behind. With 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a good touch finder there by Kira Dib as well. She bit off about 25 metres. Now on tackle 1 or 2, the Cowboys will find themselves in the Westpac red zone, and this is a great bump by Shania Power.
Got rid of Southwell. Takes it all the way down towards that 10-metre line. Inside the Westpac red zone where the Knights are dominating statistically, but a chance for the Cowboys to hit back. Second phase from Manzelmann, and now Wheel. Pilata is on now and receives. China Pilata, and they were ready and waiting. Great work from Marker there by the Knights. Big pass required from Dib. Hits the mark for Blackwell. Peters came back inboard, and Chester went the other way. Now Peters wants it right-hand side. Oh, Naikore! What a finisher! First try in the NRLW for Vitalina Naikore, the flying Fijian, and here's the celebration. Down for the count, but a try scorer.
Oh, WrestleMania. I love it. I love it. This is a wonderful finish. As you watched it live, you thought, or you got the feeling that they might have gone the wrong way because the numbers were there, but the Harvey Norman replay just shows how strong Naikore was to get this ball down. I want to see how it's hit the deck or when, just to be sure, but I thought Moran did very, very well, and Shanice Parker came for a second bite at the cherry.
It was a loopy pass there from hooker position, and I think Jasmine Strange was just put in two minds whether to catch the ball and run the length or to take the tackler, and it was so good to see Corey there slice straight through and get her first try in the NRLW.
Mia Middleton, who started on the wing last week, suspended for a fortnight. So they needed to change up their wings today. And Naikore got the call, and she'll be a regular out wide.
I'd say so. China Pilata might be playing in the middle. It's working for them this week.
To me, that was made just by the fact that she caught that ball at pace and continued her pace. She didn't slow down to try and catch it.
And Dib misses the conversion. A chance for us to get down to Marley.
Well, I have been hearing some incredible cheers behind me all game from these girls who all play for the Western Vikings Rugby League. Some future NRLW stars here, I think. Girls, I know you're going for the Knights today, even though the Cowboys just scored there. Can you give us your biggest cheer for the Knights? This is what it's all about, the next generation of girls. Women in league round, a double header of NRLW. It doesn't get much better than this.
Awesome, Marley. Great energy here for this double header. Don't forget the Sharks and the Tigers coming up next. Not too long between the two games. And through the hands here, our backup is there, just keeping it in the Cowboys. That would have been a nightmare situation after scoring points.
An absolute coach killer, if so, but she did well there to keep it infield.
It was a noon kickoff today, Roo, but that sun has been a real issue.
Well, it certainly has, and obviously because it's a winter sun, there's no grandstand down the end there. It sits on a different angle, so the sun is always in the eyes of the players running south to north.
Yasmin!
Wheel. Again, a penalty. Reasonably late in the count as well, so a chance here for North Queensland.
Yasmin Clydesdale just caught a little bit offside there.
But Mackenzie Wheel was the one you were speaking about earlier, Millie. You played with her last year. I was really impressed with her season for the Knights.
Yeah, she's come such a long way even since then, and she played a couple of games, but she's really owning her lock position here, and so good to see her playing some really great footy week in, week out.
Oh, Chester dumped by Higgins.
Chester was also a development player at the Knights last year.
There's Pilata in the middle.
Work to me, Olivia.
11 minutes to go. And think back a week ago, Cowboys had a great chance to take the lead at about this stage. Shania Power couldn't find any support, was taken down by Politi. They reviewed that in video analysis, and they're ready for the big moment today, the Cowboys. Can they break through here to take the lead once more? Wheel heavily involved. And the late offload, Manzelmann looking to capitalise. Important tackle. Clydesdale dragged her down on the last dib and knocked on by Johnston. They'll get 6 more.
Well, here we go. The Cowboys starting to squeeze a bit of pressure into the Knights here.
Okay.
When they're getting into this red zone, they are creating a few opportunities, Millie. As there's a player down in back play for the Cowboys. Is that Shania Power?
Newcastle.
They really do, and Kira Dib does so well to always be around the ruck, to be an option. We saw it was a 5th tackle play. Emma Manzelmann, their hooker, was playing the ball. You always want your half close by, because you don't want a prop making a big pass on the 5th tackle down on your try line.
Heads down, make sure we wait for the break. Heads in, you got 5 seconds, heads
So Blackwell
in. Head in.
to feed the scrum.
Break.
Final 10 minutes. Dib Off the back of the centre field scrum, it's Peters again, searching for a double. They go right-hand side again. The footwork from Dibb. From a standing start, they fell off her, and Upton had to be there. Dibb now forces the late offload, and they surely score! Bree Chester levels the scores again at Belmore.
Well, again, we've spoken at length about how good they are when they get down into this Westpac red zone, and they've just shown it brilliantly. The Harvey Norman replay is going to show it even better. What I really liked was Kira Dibb taking the line on. There was space out wide, but because the outside defence had shot up and tried to shut down that opportunity, she used her physicality and her foot speed to just find a little bit of space, and then she gets her arms free. And Bree Chester did so well, Millie, to take that and dive over the line.
She did very well there, and as I was mentioning before, she's a Newcastle junior, a local. She was a development player for the Newcastle Knights, and they didn't find a spot for her in their squad, and found her an opportunity up at the Cowboys, and great work there by Kira Dibb to keep the ball alive. All of the players sucked in and didn't expect that offload, and we've got an even game.
Now the coach, Ben Jeffries, gave her debut for the Indigenous All-Stars and now gives her NRLW debut last weekend. It's her second game, it's her first try, and it could be key here because Dibb now has the chance to put them in front.
She hasn't made it too easy for her, kicking from the sideline once again, but we've seen her do it before. No pressure or anything, Kira. Kicking against your old team to put them up.
The co-captain strikes it and drives it and loves it. No, not enough on it, under the crossbar again. It's a heartbreaker. Well, don't forget the Swimming World Championships wrap up tonight. Fukuoka, Japan, 9 p.m. to watch how many more golds Australia can win after a sensational World Champs heading into an Olympic year next year. Less than 1 year to go until Paris, which you'll see on Nine's Wide World of Sports. So many stars have been unearthed this week. Watch them go for gold tonight. 9 and 9 now from 9. Gallagher on kick-off duty, and she drove it too far. What a gift for the Cowboys. Penalty on halfway.
That's what you call a piggyback, Speedy.
Also known colloquially as Coach Killer.
Yeah, that too. Cowboys won't rush this. There's no need to. They'll take their breath.
And won't bother finding touch. It's a difficult touch finder from the middle of the ground, of course, so they just tap it and go with a full set to try and edge their way in front. Won't be thinking field goal yet with 7 to go, you wouldn't think.
Well, you never know. Take the points when they're on offer, but that was another great run. Mackenzie Wheel just chewing up metres.
Ralph Strand-Smith off the back of it. Goldthorpe. Come out ball, but no room out there, so Shelley Long did the right thing. Played things safe. Midway through the tackle count here. They'll edge back towards centre field via Manselman and Wheel.
Is she taking 3 tackles a set? Looks like it. 3 runs, sorry.
Dibb's in front of the uprights here. Are they thinking field goal? Dibb will take it and nail it. The Cowboys lead. 21-20, Kira Dibb, premiership player for the Knights one season, star for the Cowboys the next.
Well, haven't we seen some incredible kicking displays from the halves in round 2 so far of NRLW? And, you know, like I said, you take points whenever they're on offer. Lack of line speed from the Knights there to get up in the face, or just lack of identification that she was setting up for that field goal, gave her the opportunity and the time to really nail that. I mean, she's got a beautiful last-minute kick anyway, Millie, but just watching that one on full display, it just becomes more and more impressive.
It is, and you could see that they were setting up for that. They were chatting about it, they worked to that left-hand side of the field and then knew that they needed one person to lay it just outside of the post on that left-hand side.
Oh, again, the kick-off, they get in a muddle and they get away with it. This time Blackwell able to tidy up near her own dead ball line.
Ben Jeffries just fell out of his chair.
Somehow she still made it nearly to the 20.
No, it's just locked in.
It's a big nor'wester coming through as well, so those kicks are really travelling. It came off the shoulder too.
Square
She
Kayla,
did very
towards
well
me.
to
Hold.
get into position to clean that up, Blackwell.
Fumbled it the right way for North Queensland. Wouldn't this set things up beautifully for their first home game next weekend against the Broncos in a Queensland derby? If they can return to North Queensland as winners over the defending champs, they're in pole position here with 5 minutes to go. What do they do at the end of this set? Rough Strand Smith, late offload, and support from Manzelman. She's flying, Emma. Oh, head clash maybe at the end of it all. She's ready to play it. So much going on here. Referee lets it roll. Oh, nearly an intercept. And Shanice Parker would have been tough to catch.
She had to make a play at that one too because they were stripped for numbers. Just this work through the middle of the Cowboys has been impressive in this second half, and yeah, Shanice definitely spied it.
Yeah, that's a centre on the second rower just there, so she did have to make a go for it, but tell you what, hasn't the momentum been all Cowboys in this second half? No matter what happens, they will take plenty of confidence for their first home game next week.
Interesting variation on where to set up the scrum. Not quite in the middle. They come 10 metres to the left.
I don't mind it though, because if they can get some good early ball to Naikoro on that edge, when we saw her footwork on the left, I can't wait to see what she does on the right. Yeah.
How much adventure do they need to show with 3.5 to go?
Oh, well,
Seal it with a try?
they can seal it with a try, absolutely. Don't put the guns in the holsters yet, girls.
But still, you just want to play it nice and simple. Doesn't matter if you play out your set, back your defence.
Their late offloads have been a feature of this comeback today. And now Mooka! Sarika Mooka might just have sealed things. North Queensland through and through.
Well, it was a lovely setup, wasn't it? Out to the, oh, here we go, there's push-ups. I wouldn't be putting my hand up to do push-ups after playing a game of football.
They nearly played 70 minutes and they're pumping out strict push-ups.
Oh, I know. But this is fantastic work by the Cowboys. A good setup from the scrum. Peters comes back with a really strong run. And then that nice setup shape on the left. I really like that as a forward setup shape because you've got a couple of different options. Yeah. And then we had a sweeper coming out the back too, which is what gets the attention of the defenders.
And we see her running onto the ball so hard, but that late footwork to just make it a passive tackle and into a try. Yeah. She has been, every one of Cowboys' players have really stepped up today. It's so good to see.
I thought you did push-ups after an error, not after a match sealer.
Normally.
I don't know who decided they would do that one.
Yeah. Oh, I would have offered to count them out.
Yeah. Drill Sergeant, rude. And a nice easy kick from me.
Yeah. But how about the angles we got then on the Harvey Norman replay? Great views.
So good. They had an option all over the park. And the easiest one right in front of them.
And scoring so close to the uprights to ensure that they knocked the margin out beyond a converted try here. A stunning performance from the Cowboys, who now lead by 7. Don't forget, more action coming your way on Nine's Wild World of Sports. You won't miss any of the action throughout the season in NRLW. And the Sharks were brilliant last week at home. And what about the performance of the Tigers all over the Eels in the second half? The two new sides clash next week.
I can't wait for this game. That second half we spoke about from the Tigers was even more impressive because it all came in the last 18 minutes when Lasana Lutu came on the field. She was just a magician for them. So this is going to be a really good tussle.
And then it's Chemist Warehouse Sunday footy after that. Cowboys men's team, inspired by this performance by the NRLW side, will be down on the Gold Coast taking on the Titans. Cowboys looking to make it 7 in a row in that comp. Oh, what a run, Shania Powell. Well, this comp is being turned on its head in the opening fortnight. The Roosters were going to win it all heading into yesterday. They get nailed in Canberra. The defending champs came here. Everyone was expecting a comfortable win over the Cowboys, but good luck picking the NRLW in your tipping comps.
Well, Speedy, I noticed you waited to say that about the Roosters until Millie left the room.
Yes.
But it was a great performance by the Raiders at home. Fantastic. And like I said earlier, those couple of games, it's been the most dominant performances I've seen from halves in the women's game.
Final 80 seconds here. Dibb has been magnificent. Oh, what a kick! Nakore has a double. And Kira Dibb, that is a little bit of magic.
Putting a little bit of salt on it there, Speedy. This was great work, and there was nothing really happening down this short side, but Dibb just summed it up beautifully. And the way she kicked it, she rolled it off the outside of the boot, and it rolled on its belly in a very flat fashion. You can see there on the replay. And what a pickup at pace by Nakore. The Harvey Norman replay, this is a good angle. Look at that. What a pickup. The Cowboys this second half, especially after going through 10 minutes down to 12 players where they conceded 2 tries, to come back and win in this incredible fashion, Ben Jeffries will be very happy with his team's effort today. And you can see just how happy the girls are with it.
And they not only produced 1 try celebration there, I think they added a second. It might have been the can they were pulling off as well as a unit at this stage of the game. How's the fitness level for these players?
Well, we've seen the conga. We've seen, what's the one that goes under the bar?
Limbo.
The limbo. We've seen it all.
And they're all gathered arm in arm to showcase another one there because they've run out of time. 70th minute. In July, coming to an end, of course. Their next game will be at home against the Broncos in early August. Another tough one for Dibb. Oh, drives it, and it goes the other way. She can't believe that didn't fade. Siren sounds. There it is, Ruth.
I was too busy marvelling at the replay of the try. But geez, these girls, we were talking about this yesterday, they must just add an extra training session in where they just come up with try celebrations, because some of them have been phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, this performance by the Cowboys, this is just fantastic. And we speak about, for such a new club, to show this kind of resilience and togetherness is fantastic. And it just shows how strong the women's competition actually is.
Their first win in NRLW will live long in the memory. From 10-0 down early, they knock off the defending champs. Full time at Belmore, the Cowboys 31, the Knights 20.